Welcome to The Parent Thing. Hi, I'm Taryn, your host, and I'm so excited you're here. This is the space where we uncover the incredible potential of childhood, parenting, and the power of neurosomatic intelligence. Whether you're a parent, teacher, caregiver, or someone who deeply impacts a child's life, this podcast is your guide to nurturing emotional resilience, fostering growth, and building meaningful connections. Together, we'll explore cutting-edge insights, practical tools, and heartfelt stories to empower you in shaping the next generation. Join me each week as we dive into strategies, science, and stories that inspire and transform. Let's reimagine what's possible for the children we care about and for ourselves. Now, let's begin this inspiring journey together. Welcome back to The Parent Thing. I'm Taryn, and today we're diving into a topic every parent wants to master: raising resilient kids. In a world that can be unpredictable and challenging, resilience is the superpower that helps our children bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and face life's challenges with confidence. We'll explore what resilience really means, the science behind it, and of course, practical strategies to nurture this essential trait in our kids. So, let's get into it. What is resilience really? Resilience isn't just about toughing it out. It's the ability to recover from difficulties, learn from them, and move forward. According to child development experts, resilience is a skill that can be taught and strengthened, just like reading or riding a bike. Resilience is not expecting a child to just suck it up or suppress their feelings. It is learning to acknowledge and accept their feelings. It's processing their feelings and then adapting to the change, the loss, or whatever it is that they need to be resilient about. It's rooted in both the brain and body, especially in the way our nervous systems manage stress. When kids learn to self regulate, adapt, and problem solve, they are building resilience. I do need to add here that self regulation is taught by example. It is not leaving them to figure it out on their own, especially when they are younger. Self regulation is taught by co regulation. Let's talk about the science of resilience. From a neurosomatic perspective, resilience is closely tied to how well children can manage their stress responses. The brain's prefrontal cortex, which handles decision making and impulse control, develops significantly in early childhood. And I'm not sure if you are aware that this part of the brain is only fully developed by the time an adult is 25 years old. So from birth to 25, this prefrontal cortex is continually developing and is not yet fully developed. And so there's a lot that kids need to learn on how to process things and how to handle the challenges that life may throw at them. Through safe and supportive experiences, kids can build stronger neural pathways that help them pause, assess situations, and respond thoughtfully instead of reactively. Play is one of the most effective ways to build resilience. Unstructured play allows children to experiment, face manageable risks, and recover from minor failures, all while their brains are learning how to adapt. Play also enhances emotional intelligence. Kids learning to identify, express, and manage their own emotions effectively. They learn this by learning to figure it out. Too often, grown-ups intervene too soon by attempting to solve the problem, and I have that in air quotes, for them by modeling behaviors that are actually not a good example of how to problem solve. So next time you have the urge to snatch a toy that kids are fighting over, try implementing a timer and teaching them to take turns and wait for their turn. That is a way more effective way to model problem solving. Speaking of modeling problem solving behaviors, let's talk about 5 practical strategies for raising resilient kids. The first one is to model resilient behaviors. Children learn more from what we do than what we say. When we face challenges calmly and proactively, we're teaching our kids to do the same. So when you're going through something or you're working through a problem, try narrating your thought process when solving the problem to give them a blueprint for managing difficulties. This also includes having a handle on your emotions and responses. If you need some help with that, I've created a free downloadable guide that includes 5 neurosomatic drills to help you calm and regulate your nervous system. The link will be in the show notes of today's episode. The second way we can raise resilient kids is to encourage a growth mindset, praising efforts and not just outcomes. When kids see challenges as opportunities to learn rather than threats, they are more likely to persist and adapt. Using language like, you work really hard on that, instead of you're so smart, to reinforce the idea that effort leads to improvement. I actually had a little debate with a friend not too long ago about participation awards. His argument was that it makes people less motivated if they get an award just for participating. My argument is that in life, we're not always going to be the winner. That's just the reality. But it doesn't mean that effort and trying are in vain. Imagine somebody wanting to run a marathon, knowing that there's no way they are going to win. Should they not put the training effort in? Should they not do it at all because they know that they're not going to win? Imagine that being a life where we don't try something because we know we're not going to succeed. I think that participation trophies or participation awards are amazing because it recognizes the effort and not the result. The third way to raise a resilient kiddo is to teach emotional regulation, helping your child name their emotions and practice calming techniques like deep breathing or sensory grounding. Simple exercise is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. So name 5 things that they can see, 4 things that they can touch, 3 things that they can hear, 2 things they can smell, and 1 that they can taste. This helps them shift focus from anxiety to the present moment. It also helps to activate the prefrontal cortex where logical thinking, decision making, impulse control happens. Another way to raise a resilient kid is to foster problem solving skills. That means resisting the urge to solve every problem for them. Instead, guide them with questions like, what do you think? What do you think would happen if you try this? Or what else can you try to fix this problem? How else could we approach this problem? This builds confidence and resourcefulness. It also opens up channels of communication with your kids instead of just giving them the answer, speaking them through it, helping them come up with strategies and ways that they could fix whatever they perceive the problem to be. And a final example of how to raise resilient kids would be to create a safe to fail environment. Even saying this triggers something in me because I was not raised in a safe to fail environment at all. But when we allow kids to make mistakes and learn from them without harsh criticism, when a child fails, acknowledge the disappointment, acknowledge the failure, but also focus on what they can learn. This not only builds resilience, but it also teaches them that failure is a part of growth. And I cannot emphasize that enough because as a grown up, as an adult myself right now, I am essentially reparenting myself, teaching myself that failure is okay, mistakes are okay. But when it's fostered from a young age, that eliminates so much stress in their older years when they are kind and gracious with themselves because they grew up in a home where the environment was safe to fail. But that same safe to fail environment fosters a learning opportunity as well. Yes, you failed, but how do we learn from this? Yes, you made a mistake. What can we do next time to avoid making the same mistake? It just changes the game in so many ways. Let's talk about a real life practical example of resilience in action. So, your kiddo gets home from school and they were at practice for the sport that they play after school. And you ask them, hey, how was your day? How was practice today? And the response you get from a very discouraged child is, I suck at softball. And so often a parent's first inclination or immediate response is to say, don't say that. No, you don't suck. You're amazing. You're great. You're this. All the good words and affirmations and encouragement that they can think up. But how realistic is that really? Because what that does is dismisses or diminishes how your child is feeling in that moment. So instead of going straight into the consoling or fixing it, why don't you try pausing and asking, what makes you feel that way? And then guiding them to reflect more on that. If that's what you feel like, what can you do to better yourself at this sport? How do you think that we can fix that? Or what do you think you could try next time to feel like you don't suck? Are you comparing yourself to somebody else? Are you still enjoying what you're doing? Just inquiring to see what the root of that feeling is, and then strategies on how to handle it versus going straight into negating what they feel and telling them the exact opposite of what they're actually feeling in that moment. Raising resilient kids doesn't mean shielding them from life's difficulties, but equipping them to handle those challenges with confidence, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. By modeling resilience ourselves and creating opportunities for them to practice, we're helping them build the mental and emotional muscles they'll need for life. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Parent Thing. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend and subscribe for more insights on early childhood development, parenting, and neurosomatic intelligence. Until next time, keep growing and glowing.
Thank you for tuning into The Parenting. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any questions, feedback,